John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hello there, this is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert. I have almost 30 years of experience in the credit industry. I've spent time at FICO, the credit scoring company, and I have spent time at Equifax, which is one of the 3 generally recognized credit reporting agencies in the United States. So today I'm going to answer a question, which I think is a pretty straightforward question, but unfortunately, as it commonly is in credit reporting and credit scoring, the answer is going to be kind of complicated. So the question is very specific. What if I have something on my credit report, specifically a credit card account? What if I have a credit card account on my credit report that belongs to my father? So I think the answer to that question is gonna vary based on why it's on your credit report. So there's a variety of reasons why you may have something that belongs to a relative on your credit report. So number one is, first off, don't overreact. It may be entirely valid that it's on your credit report, and it might supposed to be there if that's a grammatically incorrect way of saying it. If you're added to that particular account as an authorized user, then it is entirely expected and proper that it's on your credit report. And actually, you want it on your credit report because if it's in good standing and the balance is low and it's an old card, these are all good things for you. So that's a valid reason why something belonging to your father would be on your credit report. Number two is, and this is where the answers start to become less valid. There's a possibility that you've been defrauded. And if your father opened an account in your name and the account appears on your credit report as a result, then obviously that's a problem. And you may be thinking, as you're listening to this, you may be thinking, what father would apply for credit in their son's name? You'd be surprised. A significant percentage of fraud committed in this country is called familial fraud. And some people call it family or friends fraud, which means that you've been defrauded by someone that is either in your family or that you know, because they have kind of unusual access to your personal information. So don't discount the possibility of it being fraud just because it's a relative, because that's not uncommon. Number 3, you might have what's called a mixed or confused credit report. And you're probably like, what in the world is that? If your name is substantially similar to your father's name, and so think of like John Smith and John Smith Jr. and John Smith Sr. and John Smith III, if you have enough personal information that matches your father's personal information, then there's a possibility that the information might be getting commingled with your credit report information when it should be only on your father's credit report. People often ask, well, how in the world can that happen? We have different social security numbers. That's true, and that's going to prevent his social security benefits from ending up in your pocket, or your social security benefits from ending up in his pocket. But that's the purpose of a social security number. A social security number is not the de facto number used to identify the difference between two people vis-a-vis their credit reports. That's a very common misconception. It's one of the items used to match information belonging to one consumer to their credit report, but it is not the number. That number is used for Social Security benefits, hence the term Social Security number. And an alternate number to replace the Social Security number has not been created yet. Although it's my understanding that is in the works, but we're not there yet. So it doesn't really matter that your Social Security number is different than your father's. What probably is also similar, if it is a mixed file scenario, is your address. If you think about it, you probably either live with your father or you lived with your father, so it is probably one of the scenarios where the address information on his credit report is similar to address information on your credit report. And address information is one of the things used by the credit reporting agencies to match information in their credit file system with consumers. So those are really the three scenarios where information that belongs to your father may end up on your credit report. You've been added as an authorized user on a credit card account, or you're otherwise a co-obligor. If it's a mixed file scenario, or you've been the victim of fraud. And of course, if you're the victim of fraud, or if it's a mixed file, those are the scenarios where you're going to want to contact the credit bureaus and dispute the information because it doesn't belong on your credit reports. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to get to them. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.